very good morning, children. Today, we are going to revise the chapter Matter in Our Surroundings. Most of the part in the chapter is deleted portion. So, we are going to discuss about a very few things from this chapter. First thing is, what is matter? We know our entire universe is made up of matter. Whatever you take in the universe, which is all made up of matter, our body, what we are eating, the things in the world, everything is made up of matter. So the basic component of everything in the world is matter. We can define matter as which is a substance which occupied the space. If a substance occupied the space, we can call it as a matter. We'll see what are the basics of or properties of matter. The first property is matter is anything which occupies mass and have space. If a substance or if a thing which occupies mass and space, then only we can call it as a matter. If a thing is not occupying mass or doesn't have any space or mass, then we cannot call it as matter. For example, thoughts. We have a lot of thoughts. Is it have any mass? Or is it occupies any space? No. So we cannot consider thought as a matter. Matter is a substance which occupies mass and have a space. So for your examination, they will give a lot of things such as thoughts, water, or table, or mind. So from there you have to figure out what all things having mass and space, then only we can call it as a matter. Next property is each matter is a collection of lots of tiny particles. We know matter is made up of small tiny particles. The later chapters we have studied. What are those tiny particles? Yes, the tiny particles are atoms. Atoms are further divided into what are the subatomic particles, children? Yes, protons, neutrons and electrons. So, this all collectively collect together or join together which give matter. And the particles of matter are continuously moving. It's not in a still position. It is not static. It's moving. It's always moving. So it will continuously move. So we know these all properties. But we should prove these properties. For that we should do what? Experiments. And the particles of matter are very tiny. What are those tiny particles? Yes, atoms. We know atoms. We cannot see atoms with our naked eyes. It's very small. And there is a space between the particles of a matter. So, in between atoms, there is space. It's continuously moving and the particles of matter attracts each other. We know the particles of matter attracts each other. Otherwise, a compound cannot exist in that form. If there is no attractive force, the atom will collapse. But it's not happening in our universe. Everything is stable here. So there is an attraction force between the particles in a matter. How can we prove all these things? We'll see how to prove this. So the first thing is the particles of matter are very tiny. How can we prove this? For that we are using KMnO4. KMnO4 is potassium permanganate, which is having a pink color. It's having very dark pink color. So we'll conduct an experiment. Dissolve 2-3 crystals is enough. If 2-3 crystals are there, very magenta type, this first beaker color will get. So take 2-3 crystals of potassium permanganate and add it into 100 ml of water in a beaker. The first 100 ml of beaker. Then the color, observe the color keenly. And take out 10 ml from this, add it into 100 ml beaker which containing water. And take out 10 ml from this and add into 100 ml water beaker and again continue this process. So in each step you can see what you can observe here, each step the color is, still the color is there, but color is diluting or fading. But in each step 5-6 times we are doing this experiment. If we are taking even in the large volume, the color, still the color is there. So what is proving? So from this we can infer that any particle or any matter is made up of tiny particles in each crystals. Only 2-3 crystals we have taken. From that we have diluted up to this. But even though we got color, it resembles that every matter is made up of very small particles which have million. We know the tiny particles are atoms. The next experiment is the particles of matter have space between them. How can we prove this one? The activities, all activities are there in your textbook. For a visual thing we are using PPT. For that take some water in a beaker and note its level. For example, if it is in 5 ml or 20 ml, mark it as a 20 ml. And we are going to dissolve salt or sugar. Take a spoon of or spatula of salt, add to this and stir it with a glass rod. This equipment is known as glass rod. And it will dissolve, and after that check the water level. The water level will be same. Where this gone? The salt. Why this water level is not increasing? Because if you take any substance, there will be some vacant spaces, some spaces. So the salt or sugar particles will go inside to the space. That's why the water level is not increasing. Okay, children? So the next one, particles of matter are continuously moving. How can we prove this? Take some water in a beaker and put a drop of blue or red ink slowly along the sides, okay? Leave it undisturbed. So don't touch anywhere or don't shake. Add one drop, then wait. Leave it for a few hours. After some time, check. We can see the ink is spread full of this. How it spreads? Because the water molecule, due to the movement of ink and water molecules, that's why we got color. The process is known as diffusion. For example, when we are applying spray in one room, the all smell spread in our entire house. Or if you are burning agarbatti, the entire smells will be there in the surroundings. Why it is happening? This is known as diffusion. How can we define diffusion, children? Diffusion is the intermixing of two or more different types of matter on their own. This is called diffusion. The next one is the particles of matter attract each other. For that activity is taken iron nail, a piece of chalk and a rubber band. Three things we need for this. Try to breaking them by hammering. Hammering, cutting or stretching. These all things we can do. We know if you're hammering the chalk, it will break easily. If hammering a rubber band, is it break easily? No. If hammering a iron nail, will it break? No. Why? The particles in the iron nail are held together with greater force than the rubber band or chalk. So there is an attraction between these particles. We know atoms attract each other. There will be attractive forces between them. What are that attractive force? Ionic bond or covalent bond. These all things we have studied in the later chapters. These all things about this chapter. And one more thing is there, but it is all deleted portion. Matter around us exists in three states. They are solid, liquid, gases. And there are properties of solid, liquid and all. These all things are deleted. So no need to study all those things. So the basic idea you should study. Okay, children? Thank you so much. So read well the textbook. Each and every portion of the textbook you should read. Experiment you should read. Any part you can expect questions. Next class onwards we will discuss sample question papers. Okay? Thank you so much.